Now, from the beginning on, what we saw, everyone thought it is a dental system, cone beam CT. Well, what we found out immediately is that the ones that jump on cone beam CT are the ENT surgeons for sinus. 50% was immediately sinus. Once they discover it, they love it. For them, the biggest breakthrough was actually that they had the availability. They had a patient, they just send it down without any appointment. Half an hour later, they make their decision. Otherwise, new appointment with the radiology, new appointment with ENT, and 2 weeks later they had the same result which they have now in 1 hour. So this was for them unbelievable. So no problems with the ENTs. On the contrary, they loved it. They don't want to go back to a conventional CT regime. But the big advantage is the spatial resolution. Look at that. 115 microns, 0.15 millimeter for cone beam CT, 0.5, 0.625 for conventional CT scan. So this is a real improvement in spatial resolution. If we just give a little advantage to conventional CT, normally the best they can do is 0.50. Just say they have 0.45, the cone beam CT. It's not 3 times better because it's not a plane, it's a voxel. So the difference is there in the 3 directions. That means in 1 voxel of a conventional CT, you have 27 voxels of cone beam. So the resolution is 27 times higher. But the big challenge for cone beam CT is temporal bone imaging. If you really have to push the system to the limits, that's where it happens. If there's one area where the difference between conventional CT and cone beam in radiation is huge, it's the temporal bone. And you see different systems that can be used, older or newer systems, from 3, 4 to 7, 8 times difference. And you can also see that in the effective dose, we come to the same conclusion if we look here at a GE with a Newton, and you see it's almost 8 times difference. 800%. You take 8 temporal bone studies on cone beam for the same radiation dose as one on conventional. And that's the quality you get. You see the axial images, you see the coronal images, and you see the double oblique images. And just have a look at the tegment, just have a look at your facial nerve canal. It's fantastic. It's a quality we've never seen before, and it's constant now. And you can reconstruct it. Well, it's not reconstructed because it's not taken in the axial plane. That's the big difference. If you work with a conventional CT, you take the axial plane, it's okay. But once you make the coronal reconstructions, you lose half of the quality, and it's lousy. Here we see an example of that in a patient with a prosthesis, and you see there the piston with the wheel on the drum, and here you can beautifully see it going into the oval window. And you see, even though it's metal, there are no artifacts, and whatever plane we take, we have the same quality. And we always take the 2 temporal bones at a time, and then we calculate one and the other. Here you see the stapes again. Look at the crurae, look at the capitulum and the foot plate. Gorgeous. And that was very difficult before at a dose of 0.44 millisievert, which is incredible. Normally you will have about 3.2 for a conventional CT. So for temporal bone imaging, it's obvious. We see things that we've never seen before. And the big difference is the stapes, but also the superior canal. We really have a resolution which is unmatched. There's no competition from any MDCT. Not possible, whatever they say. And you do that at an 1/8 of the dose. So what the hell are we still doing with MDCT? It should be forbidden.